Dit stuk is rot eigenlijk.
Ja, die verbinding.
Maar dit is eigenlijk oké.
Ja.
Zullen we
Dan zou
hier een hoekje uitzagen?
Ja, gewoon een nieuw verbindingstukje maken.
Ja.
Dat zou ik gewoon doen.
Dan lijken we dat weer terug.
Ja. Als deze gewoon goed is.
We're continuing work on the windows this week. We would really like to get as much as possible done over the next few days so that we can start painting by the end of the week. Bertus is still working on writing out the window frames so that they fit the new double glazing panels, which are quite a bit thicker than the single glazing, obviously. Marijn is reconstructing one of the problem windows from the north facade, which had quite a lot of wood rot on the bottom section. This is what it looked like before, and he's basically building a new bottom section of the frame. And I'm going to start to clear out our extension on the back side of the farmhouse, because we want to turn that into a temporary window painting room, because obviously in the workshop it's super dusty with all the sawdust, and also the old workshop where we have been scraping and sanding the windows, and where I also still have to continue scraping and sanding windows, is also a little bit dusty. So we want to have a dedicated space for the painting. So that's what I'm going to do today mostly. En dan kwam er in deze tray iets, maar dan wat dan die grote cilinder onderaan. En hier is een zwengel die vast ergens opging. Ik weet niet. Hier of zo.
Maar we ook nog uit. Ja, dat ding. Hij is niet zo zwaar. Wel. Zo. Ja, die had ik net hier aan je. Oh, daar, daar hangt het.
Ja.
Ja. Ik vind het best makkelijk.
Ja, toch?
Ja,
Ja, die is er best mooi afgekomen.
ja heel nauwelijks schade, hier een heel klein beetje misschien, maar voor de rest
Oh, dat is goed.
schuren en klaar.
Nu goed erop van de batterij. Als het goed is. All right.
For our window restoration project, we're collaborating with EazyFix, a Dutch brand that creates long-lasting epoxy-based wood repair products. For the past few months, I've done tons of research and talked to many people who know a lot more than we do about restoring timber frame windows. And I've just kept coming back to EazyFix over and over as the best solution for our own windows. So I decided to reach out to them, and when they offered to sponsor us for this project, I was honestly pretty giddy with excitement. They sent us a complete kit including wood rot filler, wood filler, cleaning wipes, mixing board, palette knives, wall filler, silicone gun, wood hardener, gloves, and a rotary tool bit to remove wood rot. For me, it's the first time working with a two-component epoxy wood filler for wood restoration, but it's really convenient that Marijn has lots of experience with it, so it's really great to have him here this week. It's not super complicated from what I've seen. It's a product that's designed to be also accessible skill level wise to DIYers like us. But the tricky thing I think is mostly that once you mix the filler, it dries up quite fast, so you need to have a plan so that you can work really efficiently before your epoxy sets. You are going to see us work with EazyFix for the coming few weeks. this week as we're restoring the windows, but also as we're moving on to the window frames later. The first step is removing the sections of wood that have rot, and if there are any cracks or damages that you want to fill up but that are just a bit too narrow, you want to take away some wood there as well. I'm using a Dremel here, but for larger sections you can also use a multi-tool. Next, I'm treating some sections of the windows with wood hardener, where the wood is a little soft or in places where the filler won't have a lot of texture to adhere to. This wood hardener only needs to sit for 20 minutes before applying the filler, which means that you can work really fast. The wood filler is designed for shallow and narrow repairs, while the wood rot filler is for fixing bigger holes and gaps. I'm using the wood filler here for some smaller and easier fixes to get used to the product, and Marijn is going to show me how to do more complicated fixes later today.
Boven te lijken.
Dan EazyFix. Houdt hij het voor? Even kijken, die kant niet, die kant wel. En dan deze kant nog. Nou, vooruit.
Het is oké, maar je kunt altijd nog een beetje...
Ja, klopt. Ook EazyFix cleaning wipes gaan halen voor... Dat is echt zoveel beter.
This morning we helped out one of our neighbors to clear up a gigantic pile of bamboo from his backyard. So now we have 100 or probably more bamboo canes that we're not really sure what we are going to do with. I'm sure we will find a good use for them. They're also quite tall, so they're I'd say 5 or so meters long, maybe 6, some of them. And at the base they're quite wide. They're 3 to 5 centimeters in diameter. So they might become support structures for the vegetable garden next year, hopefully, if we get round to it. And maybe they might become a roof for a pergola, or maybe some other light fencing for other parts of the garden. So yeah, we're not sure. If you have any ideas, feel free to share them in the comments. And yeah, so now it's time to get back to the windows.
Die heeft in best door het dorp opgewerkt. Wordt dikker aan het eind. Dus die wordt wel smaller, maar die wordt dikker, waardoor die eigenlijk vooral...
Dus de halve flexibiliteit
Ja, hij heeft,
across the...
hij heeft hier die flexibiliteit. Deze heeft eigenlijk ook wel.
Normaal. Ja. Doe ik thuis ook.
Ja, oké.
Wat dan het antwoord? Ja, is goed. Maar dan moet je even Nina over...